Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Rivera, and today I'm going to be telling you about my family tradition, which is to be aware of the mala de ojo, which is essentially the evil eye. So, a lot of people are familiar with the evil eye symbol, which looks like this. It's essentially an eye made of alternating blues and whites, and this blue eye is seen across a multitude of cultures, so a lot of people are familiar with it. In Latin culture specifically, the mala de ojo is the act of giving an evil eye, while the symbol itself here is actually a symbol of protection. So it can get a little confusing when you talk about the evil eye as a way of like protecting yourself with the symbol, or as in giving it or receiving it as a bad thing. So the term evil eye has roots in a multitude of cultures and countries, and it is very, very heavily embedded in Hispanic and Latin American cultures. In El Salvador and Spain, where both my parents are from, it is referred to as the bad of the eye, mala de ojo in Spanish. So, what exactly is the evil eye? The evil eye is a suspicion that an illness or just plain misfortune can be given to you or to another individual who has been given the evil eye. So you can either give it to people or it can be given to you, but different cultures have different beliefs on how it's spread. Some people believe that only certain individuals in a population have this ability to give it, like they're cursed, and that it's a specific gift, while other people believe that anyone can do it if they think it into existence hard enough. And typically, people believe that the nasty look is given by someone in a position of power. Maybe it's someone who's wealthier than you, or maybe it's someone who's more affluent in some way, while the receiver of the evil eye is seen as weaker. Usually, they're younger, or they're less affluent, or they're in a position of submission. So, in my family specifically, we don't aim to give people the evil eye. It's more so the tradition of protecting against the evil eye. So, the evil eye is a superstition that has a multitude of cultures and varying explanations and forms. What I found is that a lot of the roots go back to Greece and ancient Rome, while there are also roots in Jewish, Islamic, Hindu, and even Buddhist traditions, and that for Central America, where my family is from, it likely came from Spanish colonizers. So, a Michigan State University article that I found called The Evil Eye in Mexican and Central American Culture states that the evil eye superstition has a presence strongly embedded in Spanish culture because of these European influences, but that it has taken kind of its form of its own throughout the Latin American community, which is why my family knows about it so much. So, here we go. I just want to reiterate that in my family tradition, we don't aim to give people the evil eye, rather, we aim to protect against it. Okay, so what is some of the logic behind the evil eye? Well, it's kind of like manifestation. A lot of people believe that if you wish something into existence enough, that it will happen, either positively or badly. Like if you had a bad attitude about something, that you're more likely to see bad results. Or if you have a positive attitude, that you're more likely to see positive results. It's kind of the same way that you can get bad vibes from a look that someone gives you. Imagine that multiplied enough where their bad vibes can actually affect you, either physically or mentally. A lot of people believe that the effects of the evil eye are ailments of some sort, like you can get a stomach ache or appendicitis or a headache from the evil eye, while other people believe that you might just get misfortune or misluck of some sort. Um, Additionally, some people believe it is just like the eyes of the soul kind of logic. You know, if your heart and your soul is impure or has malicious intentions, then why can't your eyes be a vessel to give that malintention or that bad energy to someone else? That's essentially how it was explained to me through my mother. A lot of the times growing up, if we went out in public, she would be warning us against strangers who were looking at us weird. She'd be like, be careful. That person looks like they're giving you the mala de ojo, and she'd tell us to get away. Or she'd say jokes about it if someone was rude to her. And In my family specifically, it's kind of talked about in the way that you talk about the bad luck of going under a ladder or opening an umbrella indoors. It's one of those superstitious things that you're told about, but not necessarily a strong danger in your life, just kind of something that may or may not be true. So, you might be wondering, what are some ways that you can protect against the evil eye? Well, one of the most popular ways to protect against it are protection bracelets. Pictured here in this PowerPoint is what these protection bracelets look like. They usually have the symbol of the evil eye on them as a way to protect you. Also, in Latin American culture specifically, a lot of the time they're red because red is seen as a color of strength and power and protection. And something interesting about these bracelets is they're most popular in infants. Like the one that's pictured here would be given to a kid probably at their baptism or within their first few years of life. Because as I mentioned earlier, people who are younger or more vulnerable are more likely to be targeted, and infants are seen as the group that is most vulnerable to the evil eye. But just because infants are most vulnerable to them or seen as needed to be protected from them doesn't mean that only infants wear these protection bracelets. They can be bought or worn at any age or stage in your life. I actually have one on right now that my sister gave me, and you can see the evil eye symbol on it. And I wear it every day just as a kind of way to show my culture and to feel connected to them. But you might be thinking, what if this protection bracelet doesn't work or you don't have one? Well, another solution is an everyday egg. Essentially, the method here is to cure the evil eye instead of protect against it. What you do is you get a raw, uncooked whole egg and you rub it on an area that you think has been affected. If you overall feel horrible and you think that the evil eye gave it to you, you can rub it on your head and it should protect your whole body. Or if you got a stomach ache and you think it's because someone who passed you on the street gave you the evil eye, you can rub it onto your stomach. And the trick here is to keep the entire egg whole and to not eat it. You have to crack the egg to release the bad energy and then throw the whole egg away. While it may seem wasteful, the point is you cannot eat the egg, because if you eat it, then you're just inviting all that bad energy back into you. Or if you cook it and give it to someone else, then you're passing on that bad energy. So you need to make sure to dispose of the egg, which is kind of silly. I'm not sure where this came from. I'm sure it's just a way of absorbing that bad energy. But it's really interesting to see the specific ways that this is seen throughout the culture. Specifically in Central America, there are people called curandos, which are essentially shamans that can examine your egg and actually tell you if they feel like all of the energy is gone from your body, or they can even tell you who gave it to you. They could be like, oh, your sister gave you the evil eye, and that's what I see in this egg, or oh, it is an unknown person who just wanted to do bad, which I think is really interesting that someone could look at an egg and know where that energy came from. So, you're probably wondering, yes, it's a superstition, but how prevalent is this in actual culture? Well, there was a research study done in 1995 by a group of adolescent researchers in Houston, Texas. And here I have attached the abstract for that study. And essentially what they did is they went to a pediatrics office and they surveyed all of the Hispanic caregivers that came in, a total of 51, and they asked them what they believed caused the illness in their child. And the illnesses ranged from fever, from stomach problems, to respiratory problems. And 70% of these Hispanic caregivers said that they believed that in some way the evil eye had affected their child, which is absolutely insane. I mean, 70% is huge. So while I say that this belief is kind of like thinking that a black cat is bad luck or walking under a ladder is bad luck, it's like that, but almost amplified to where they see it as an actual illness. And growing up, my family and my mother was never as intense as that to believe that we got sick because of it, but she did joke about it or mention it enough where it's kind of embedded in my brain that if someone gives me a bad look, I think that it'll affect me more so than just them giving me a bad look. So while the look or the evil eye is spooky and suspicious, I don't think that it's necessarily fully a negative belief. Wearing the evil eye symbol on my wrist or seeing someone else wear it or talk about it is a way of connecting with people. It lets me know that we're a lot more similar than we think, even if they're from a Greek culture or Islamic culture. I have that tie with them that I might not have had if it didn't exist. And it's a way to connect with my family. I mean, me and my mom and my sisters make jokes about the evil eye all the time, saying, like, oh, that person's grumpy. Hope they don't give you the evil eye. And so it's a negative and scary thing, which sounds spooky and superstitious, but it's actually just a way to bring us together in these unsuspecting ways, which I thought was really interesting. And here I just have some citations for some scholarly sources that I used throughout my presentation, and also some citations from my photos. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you learned something about the evil eye today. Thank you.